Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, September 15th of 2024. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, doing our inner work to consciously change our daily habits and our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Today's topic is healing intergenerational patterns, breaking the cycles of intergenerational patterns to heal that which has been passed on through the lineage, through our ancestral patterning. I was speaking with someone the other day and, talking about that healing, and there was an ancestral pattern, and we were talking about healing and how that would benefit the generations that came before him. And he said, that bugs me because I don't want to help the people who hurt me, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I so get that because I've been there myself because I felt that same thing. Like, why do I have to do all this hard work to benefit somebody who really brought through so much pain? And, it's like, ugh. But I have another way to look at that I want to share with us today, and it has to do with the intergenerational life cycle of the monarch butterfly, which is one of the most beautiful mysteries, one of the most beautiful signs given to us through nature, through the natural world of this, generational knowledge and patterning and how things are carried through the life cycle. The monarch butterfly is a migratory butterfly. So in the warmer months here in the northern hemisphere, in the northern in the summer months, they get all the way up to Canada. In the winter months, they go all the way to Mexico, to Michoacan, Mexico, to overwinter. And there's some that overwinter in California and some that overwinter in Florida, but the majority of them go down to Michoacan, Mexico to overwinter, and they hibernate there. And it's just the most incredible thing because the life cycle, it's just wild. I'm going to get into this, but just for the intro here, I'll just drop a little thing. There's fifth generations of butterflies, and they go through their full cycle of finding the milkweed, laying the egg, hatching the butterfly, 5 instars of the butterfly, then the chrysalis, and then of the caterpillar, of the caterpillar, and then the chrysalis, and then the butterfly, and then that one flies a little farther north and then repeats that cycle a little farther north. The fifth one to be born is born with a longer wingspan, and instead of having a life cycle of just 2 to 4 months, it has a life cycle of 2 to 4 weeks. It has a life cycle of 8 to 9 months and a longer wingspan, so it can fly the exact same pattern back to its ancestors' migrating place for the winter, to overwinter. And then the next year, start the exact same cycle again, and it's repeated, and the same pathway is followed for the migration. And it's just such an incredible thing. And when you think about how our energy evolves as one collective energy, our soul cluster, our generations that we're here to we're evolving a collective life cycle as we move through generations. And just think about being the one who has that opportunity to be awakened, to really become aware, and to be in a place in time where you are given the resources and the space to do the healing work, to shift the pattern for that. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than the individual. It is an intergenerational life cycle. Just like you have your healing life cycle on this earth journey that you'll go through many times to heal various patterns, right? There is a collective intergenerational ancestral life cycle that we're a part of, and we have opportunity to heal things as we move through that intergenerational life cycle. So that's what we're going to look at today. Let's go ahead and come into our meditation and healing circle. Let's come into our circle sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And as we come into one circle, let's bring everything to face toward the center. Bring your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your throat, your heart, your belly, your hara, everything to face toward the center. We meet together at the hub of the wheel. Together, let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light and bring everything you have to face directly to your source, whatever that might look like or be like for you. Let's bring all of the parts of yourself together to face toward one source and call directly on that source to send this essence of pure divine light. Just let this light stream on you and surround you. And as you inhale, inhale this pure divine light in through your pores and into your tissues and into all the parts of yourself. Let it infuse into your fluids and your organs and your bones and everything and your nervous system. Let it travel along the electrical system of your body. This light coming in like electricity traveling through your body, cleansing, purifying, illuminating, awakening. Cleansing, purifying, illuminating, awakening as it travels through. As it cleanses and purifies, it cleans up all of the misperceptions and all of the mismarked pathways along your electrical wiring and illuminates and highlights the paths of truth, love, peace, mercy, compassion, unity, and let this infuse and illuminate and awaken your being with this pure light. And as you inhale, breathe it all the way in through your body into your vertical core, into that core of your body where this pure divine light streams through the top of your head and all the way along through your body, halfway front to back, halfway side to side. And just focus your energy at this core of your body. And as you inhale, breathe that light into this core to meet the light that is already there. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your pelvic bowl and just let your entire conscious body just like upright into that spine and lean back and let yourself be showered and infused with light. And gathered at your core, being showered and infused with light. And a big inhale, and as you exhale, just blow out any of the clutter, the tension, the congestion. Let it release from your body and from your energy sphere. And again, facing directly to your source, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, throat, heart, belly, hara, hips, facing directly to your source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love. Just imagine, feel, perceive this unconditional love streaming into the center of our circle and streaming right into your heart center. If your heart center is feeling closed or cluttered, you can give some gentle tapping along the front of your chest space, center of your heart, or gentle circular rubbing in a circular motion at the center of your heart with some tapping, and tap all the way up under your collarbones, on the sides. Really let that space release its clutter. Take an inhale in that pure unconditional love, and as you exhale, blow out that clutter and that tension. You can give a feathering with your fingertips down the sides of your neck, and just let that lymphatic fluids drain, release, and a little more tapping along the chest. Big inhale in, draw in that pure unconditional love. As you exhale, release the tension and the clutter. And again, just upright your spine, lengthen your spine. Center all of the parts of yourself into your vertical core, into that pillar of light at the center of your body, halfway front to back, halfway side to side, and lean into that pillar and receive this unconditional love. As you inhale, breathe it in and let it stream all the way through your heart center and just pour into you, pour into your core. And as you rest into that space in your core, just let yourself receive it. Let yourself be like a sponge, a dry sponge, and receiving this water of unconditional love into your sponge, into every cell of that sponge, until it becomes completely saturated, dripping, overflowing with unconditional love. And your whole being becomes satiated as you rest in this pure divine light, satiated with unconditional love. And again, in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your eternal compassion. Compassion is in the language of Arabic, the sacred language, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, and that is from the same root as the word of womb. One of the meanings is womb. There is a womb of compassion that contains our entire 3D material existence, right? This is a limited dimension existence. It is contained within a womb. This womb is compassion. The fluids, right? We think that we're in this air, but really we're in an ocean. This is an ocean of living consciousness that is infused with and made of and contained in pure compassion. So as you feel this compassion, is all around you, holding you, supporting you, loving you, containing you, completely accepting you, supporting you, and let your entire being rest into this ocean of eternal compassion. As the poet Rumi says, these forms we seem to be are cups floating in an ocean of living consciousness. We think we are our bodies, but what we are is ocean. Too near to see, though we swim in it and drink it in. He says, don't be the cup with the dry rim, or one who rides all night, never realizing the horse beneath his thighs or the surge that carries him along. Right? So let yourself just be immersed into this ocean of eternal compassion, where you are loved, held, supported, seen, heard, known, completely and totally accepted as you are. As you are. Let yourself rest into that. And again, like the sponge, receive this compassion, this vibration of compassion into every cell of your being. As you center in this pure divine light, let yourself be filled with unconditional love and rest and dissolve into this ocean of eternal compassion. Let your being float. Float and be carried along, supported, protected, and carried along in the surge of this ocean of eternal compassion. Our topic today, healing intergenerational patterns. Right? In case you missed the introduction, I'm going to start again with the story of the monarch butterfly. Just let yourself, as you're floating in this ocean of living consciousness, just imagine the monarch butterfly. Imagine the butterfly floating through the air, landing on the flowers, taking of the nectar. Butterflies are beauty themselves, and they're attracted to the beauties of the gardens and the flowers, and just Incredible, an incredible specimen of nature that has so many signs of the divine wisdom, so much that we can learn about our own healing journey and our own life cycles from looking at the butterfly. The monarch butterfly is a butterfly that migrates, just like the birds migrate north and south. The butterfly migrates north and south here in the northern hemisphere. In the summer months, the butterfly will migrate north, as the monarchs will go as far as Canada. And in order to survive the winter, they've got to make their way south, all the way to the majority of them to go to Michoacan, Mexico for an overwinter. And they cluster there in the trees, and it looks like a bunch of dead leaves on the tree, but it's clusters and clusters of butterflies. But overwinter, there's a place in California and a place in Florida where they also go. Here's the beauty is they will stay there, right? The life cycle of that one that goes from Canada all the way to Mexico is 8 to 9 months. And they will overwinter there. And then the cool thing about the butterfly, one of the cool things, everything's a cool thing about the butterflies, is that their wings are like solar panels, and they need a certain temperature and light. They need the light to land on their wings in order for them to be energized so that they can fly. So think about that. If you want to feel the light landing on your wings and energizing you so that you can fly as you're surging through this ocean, just let yourself feel that light landing on your wings, energizing you for this journey. We're going to travel on the intergenerational life cycle. Now, the monarch butterfly, when it's been overwintering in Mexico, California, Florida, when it's been overwintering, when the light comes, the temperature raises and the light comes and lands on its wings, they can start to fly, and you'll see them in their clusters, and one by one they'll start to release from that cluster and start to fly until you have this whole flurry of butterflies flying around, swarming around. And when they start to fly, this, I'm going to call it the 5th generation, because it is the 5th generation of the butterfly. It actually, because it's the one that has to make the longer trek between the overwintering and then, excuse me, starting to return north to begin the new life cycle, it has a longer wingspan. It has a different anatomy, right? Every 5th generation of the monarch butterfly has a different anatomy that allows it to fly higher and farther. So it can overwinter, and then when the light hits its wings, it separates from the cluster and it starts to fly north. Now, it can only get to a certain point, right? Like the ones we see here in Texas, they like that first generation. And it has to find the plant that it needs to lay its eggs, because when the butterfly hatches out, it's barely visible. The first thing, no, sorry, not the butterfly, but the caterpillar. So it lays its eggs, and the caterpillar that hatches from those eggs, the first thing that it feeds on is the egg itself. And then it has to eat the diet of the milkweed plant. So the butterfly has to find the milkweed plant to lay its eggs. And if you want to become a stop along the journey of the butterfly, get yourself some milkweed. It lands and lays its eggs on the milkweed plant. The butterfly hatches out this tiny little thing that you can barely see, eats its own egg, and then it starts to eat that milkweed plant. Before you notice the butterfly, you start to notice holes in the plant, but that caterpillar will grow and grow and grow. And when it hatches out, it's in what's called its first instar. It gets to a certain point, right, where it is expanding beyond its own capacity. and then it has to shed its skin. And then that's called its second instar. It moves into its second instar, continues to eat from that milkweed plant, eat and eat and eat and eat, and grow and grow and grow. And you'll see lots of poop showing up, right? And bigger holes coming into your plant. And then it goes, I mean, you can see it by this point, right? And it grows to a certain point again until it reaches its full capacity. And then it sheds its skin. It goes into its third instar. Same thing, grows to a certain point, sheds its skin. To its fourth instar, sheds its skin to its fifth. And in its fifth instar, we got a lot of fives in this, right? A lot of fives. In its fifth instar, it will then reach its full capacity. And by then it's, it's like maybe even a 2 or 3 inch long caterpillar, 2 to 3 inches. And so it's looking like this big, gorgeous caterpillar. And it reaches a certain point where it expands beyond its capacity. But this time, before it sheds its skin, it will go to a place where it can attach itself and hang upside down in a J shape. So it attaches itself through this little web-like material to a leaf or a stem that is on the plant, and it will hang, or wherever it can find, and it hangs upside down and it'll form this J shape. And you'll see it form into this J shape. And then when you watch it, you'll see it start to do this little wiggly thing, and wiggle around in a circular motion. And it splits its skin. And this time, instead of being another caterpillar underneath, you see this bright green being there. And as it sheds its skin and continues to do this circular motion thing, it is morphing before your eyes. It's not like spinning a cocoon. It is it's morphing into a chrysalis. And the monarch butterfly, it's monarch, it's royalty, right? It forms into this beautiful bright green chrysalis, and then it's got these gold flecks around it, around the little, I don't know what that point is called, that ridge. It has these gold flecks that look very regal, very royal. And so and then again, its skin falls off, right? The skin, it discards, it falls off. It transforms into this completely new being. Now, this whole time of the caterpillar and its instars and its becoming the chrysalis, it has stayed stationary in one place, one plant, right? It hasn't moved much. It's been in this little confined world, very limited, confined world of consumption, growth, consumption, growth, consumption, growth, consumption, growth, and then transformation. And then the cool thing, what happens when it is transforming into the chrysalis is that it secretes an enzyme. It secretes an enzyme from inside itself, and that enzyme completely digests its body. And the whole inside of the caterpillar is digested by this enzyme. And then it becomes compost. The only part that doesn't get digested are these invisible to the naked eye cells called imaginal cells. And there are these imaginal cells that actually form the parts of the butterfly. And those imaginal cells that have been completely invisible then feed on the compost from the former self. Think about that. The digested, the imaginal cells that are creating the new being that were completely invisible before come together to form the new self, and they feed on the compost of the old digested self. And as they do, that butterfly grows and is formed inside that chrysalis. And you see it, the outer casing of that chrysalis becomes transparent, and you begin to see the butterfly inside. And then as the butterfly is ready to take flight, that transparent outer casing splits open, The butterfly emerges. It has to hang upside down and let its wings unfurl. And then again, it can't take flight until the light has landed on its wings, energized its wings, and the temperature is right, and it can take that flight. It flies a little further north. Now, these generations in between have shorter wingspans. They have shorter lifespan. They live 2 to 4 weeks. So it flies a little farther north, finds a milkweed plant, lays the eggs, that whole thing starts all over again. The next one, same thing, lives 2 to 4 weeks, flies a little farther north, and they make their way by the 5th generation, all the way up to around Canada. And then that 5th generation, that butterfly that emerges from the 5th generation, has longer wingspan, can fly higher and longer, and lives 8 to 9 months. It makes its way all the way back, same pathway that it flies to get back to Michoacan or California or Florida, wherever it's going to overwinter here in this area, and overwinters there, and then the process begins again. Now, think about this. Now, science has called this a mystery. They have not figured out how the 5th generation grows differently, how it knows the exact same pathway that 5 generations before knew to fly, how the intergenerational ones, the shorter lifespans, and the intermediate ones, right? How those know to make the same pathway, right? They haven't figured out how this knowledge is carried through the generations. They haven't figured out how they know where to go and how to go. They go back to the exact same place every year. It's a miracle, a mystery, and so much beauty and wisdom there. Now, as you're hopefully still floating in this ocean and feeling the awe and wonder of the miracles of nature, focus on signs. What are the signs that are given to you through this incredible specimen of nature? How does this inform you about yourself and your own family, your ancestors, and your intergenerational patterning? And just imagine, if you will, right? Each generation, like, it lives its lifespan on this contained environment of this 3D material existence. It does what it's here to do within the environment that it's given to live in. Each one in its own way evolves the collective consciousness within the confines of where it lands and what it's given to live in and grow in, to consume and to grow from, and to move through its 5 instars, right? And I can't say there's 5 instars in the human journey, but to, linking it to the caterpillar, to expand, shed its skin, grow, expand, shed its skin, grow, expand, shed its skin, and grow, and then transform to become the butterfly and take flight, right? And then lay its eggs. The next iteration begins. It begins in a new place, in a new time, with a new environment, and it can take it a little bit farther, right? It can consume, grow, expand, and shed its skin, consume, grow, expand, shed its skin, right? Until it evolves from within its environment and with what it's given to consume, depending on where it landed and what was happening in that time and place. And then it evolves and takes flight and moves to the next, lays its eggs. A new generation is born in a different time and place, with a different environment and different things to consume and to learn from and to expand from, to grow from, to shed its skin, to become a new instar until it is ready to evolve and grow. So think about your ancestry as that. Think about the things that, 5 generations back were living through, the environment, the plant they landed on, right? What is the plant that they landed on? What was the environment that that was in? What did they consume? What did they grow from? How did they evolve in their lifetime? And what did they pass forward? What is the information? What's the energies? What's the everything that they passed forward? And then think about it. Now, this next generation had a new plant to live on, a new consumption, new things to grow from and evolve with, right? Before then they became the butterfly, passed it on. Each one, if you can kind of shift the framework of it, your mental framing of it from they handed me down a bunch of garbage that now I've got to deal with and live through, to they did their part in the evolution and growth and then passed along, kind of like passing the baton to the next generation to do their part in the evolution and the growth based on the environment that we have to live in. And now we evolve, we grow, we transform, take flight, give birth to the new generation who will come at a different time and place where they evolve and grow and transform, pass the baton a little farther, right? Are we, as a collective of humanity, getting to that fifth generation where the wingspan will be longer? They can travel farther, perhaps even into that era of complete peace and unity, love and compassion, where there will be equality and freedom for all. Like, where are you in that cycle? And what are you doing with what you've been given, what you've carried forward? How are you now consuming from your current environment as a way to use that to inform yourself, to grow, and to evolve, so that you are doing your part here in the intergenerational lifespan of the collective of your ancestry? And our collective of ancestry is within the collective of humanity. Like, what is the part that you've been given to evolve and grow and to transform so that you can carry that and pass that on to the next generation? So let's sit with that for a minute. Sit with that for a minute. And again, let yourself just like lean into this pillar of light at the core of your being, receiving this unconditional love, floating in this ocean of living consciousness, and just ask, like, what is it here? Like, and if you can, like, let this just, if you can, release any like blame and grudge that you may hold against the ancestors, right? There was a perfection in the wisdom of how all of this is being carried along, perfection of nature within this whole thing here. So just see if you can let go of your regrets, let go of your grudges, let go of the blame, and see us as one interwoven collective that is evolving and transforming as one collective consciousness, right? We're part of one consciousness, one ocean. And just ask again, let's bring everything face to face with your source: eyes, ears, nose, mouth, throat, heart, belly, hara, hips, everything to be face to face with your source. As you dissolve into the light, fill with the unconditional love, supporting with from the eternal compassion, and ask for help from your unseen support team to release the anger, the grudges, the blame from the previous generations, the ancestors, and release that from your body, releasing the guilt and the shame, anything else that wants to release. And just ask to be shown what is your part here that you are honored to be given to transform for the collective in this time and space that you've landed on this planet. How are you to evolve, to grow? What is the transformation that you are here to do for your part of the collective? I'm just going to call on one divine name that is a divine name of the healer, like the masterful healer, and it is Yah Shafi, S-H-A-F as in Frank, I, Shafi, Yah Shafi. And just let the healing power of the masterful healer just transform your being. Yah Shafi. And help your being. Just release any of the old, any of the unneeded, any of the grudges, misperceptions, any of that stuff that you've carried forward that you don't need to any longer, shall we say, that you can release, be free to release, just let it release. Like releasing anything that is not needed anymore. Let it leave no trace, let it cause no harm. Just be released and be gone. And allow yourself to be aligned and moving with the transformation that you are here to recognize and to bring through your instars of growth. And let yourself be evolved. Yashafi, the master healer. Let yourself be transformed and evolved. Ya Jabbar is another name for the healer who realigns. Let yourself be like healed and transformed. Ya Shafi, to be healed and aligned. Ya Jabbar, and to be elevated. Ya Rafia, Ya Rafia. And let yourself, if you feel like you are expanding beyond the capacity of your skin, just allow your skin to be shed, your energetic skin, anything that confines the capacity of your being, just let that be shed as you emerge into the next instar of your being. Will allow for even more growth and evolution. Let yourself be expanded, elevated, aligned, transformed. Ya Shafi, Ya Jabbar, Ya Rafia. Ya Shafi is the healer. Ya Jabbar, the one who realigns. Ya Rafia, the one who elevates. To be healed, to be realigned, and to be elevated. Ya Shafi, Ya Jabbar, Ya Rafia. Ya Shafi, Ya Jabbar, Ya Rafia. Ya Shafi, Ya Jabbar, Ya Rafi, Ya Shafi, Ya Jabbar, Ya Rafi, Ya Shafi, Ya Jabbar, Ya Rafi. And again, just if you feel the confines, anything confining or constraining you, as it's ready, just let it fall away. Let yourself shed that skin. Let yourself emerge into a new instar with expansion, room to grow, room to learn, to evolve, and to grow and to transform. Let the inner wisdom of nature really carry you along through this ocean of living consciousness. Just let yourself be carried along. Let yourself be moved. Let yourself be evolved. Let yourself grow. Let yourself expand. Let your vibration and your consciousness be elevated. Again, this isn't something that you have to control. It comes from an inner wisdom. Just think of those caterpillars, right? When they're ready to shed their skin and move to their next instar, where they have room to consume more and grow more and evolve. When it's ready to go from its instar into that J shape where it will transform into the chrysalis, where it secretes that enzyme. It doesn't have to know how. It doesn't have to will it with its mind. It's laws of nature. It's an intention. We have free will, right? Human beings have free will. So we have to call on that unseen support team and ask for that help and that support and just let go. Let go and trust in the wisdom of nature that will transform you, that will evolve you, that will grow you and move you into that next evolution of yourself. You're here to grow, to like consume from what you have around you, where you have been planted, as they say, and grow within that realm and evolve and elevate. Let yourself be evolved. Let yourself be evolved. Are you giving birth and evolution to that fifth generation? That fifth generation that has the longer wingspan, the longer lifespan, can reach new heights. So allow yourself to be evolved, to be transformed, to be elevated. Yarafia, Yarafia. And just let your vibration within your physical body and your subtle energy body and your whole sphere, just let that vibration be elevated as you let go into this ocean of living consciousness with all of its wisdom. To evolve and to grow. And think of our collective consciousness, a collective of humanity, as one inside one womb, inside one container, right? So we expand and grow, expand and grow, expand and grow, reach the confines of that containment. Are we going to emerge as a butterfly and live in a completely different reality of peace, justice, equality, mercy, compassion, freedom, unconditional love? Let yourself be that now and carry that forward now. You feel yourself evolving, growing, elevating. Let just this vibration of love, unconditional love, of eternal compassion, of peace, of pure divine light, of mercy, of justice, of equality, of freedom for all of life on planet Earth and beyond. Just let yourself be infused with these vibrations. Let them elevate your vibration and your consciousness as you evolve and grow and expand your capacity for evolution and growth as you move into the next phase of your life cycle. And again, releasing anything that's not needed to carry forward from the past, from the ancestral patterning, evolving it as you've been brought here to evolve, to be ready to pass the torch for the next evolution, the next generation. And be it now. Just think about it. Be it now. So what you pass on allows them to fly even higher. Kun fayakun, be and it is. Be and it is. Be and it is. And again, remember, this is a meditation that we do from inside our bodies. So if any part of you has left your body, just bring it back in. Take a deep inhale. Bring all of the parts of yourself into this vertical core. As you exhale, drop down, land into your pelvic bowl. Lean into that pillar of light at the core of your being. Anchor into your pelvic bowl. Feel your energy move through your legs, through your hips, through your legs. All the way, circle your ankles, stretch out your toes, flex your feet, and feel your presence all the way into your feet. And sit into your hips and circle your shoulders, stretch your arms, circle your wrists, stretch your fingers. Just feel your presence into your arms and your hands. And put your hands on your heart. Bismillah. Kun fayakun. Okay. I'm going to wrap up for the recording and open for Q&A. If you're listening to the recording, you're invited to join us live on Sundays, 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You find information for joining us live at communityforconsciousliving.com. And if you would, if you're listening to the recording, give us a like and a share. And if you're listening on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. When you're at communityforconsciousliving.com, you can sign up to receive the reminders about these events and the replays so that you can join us live or listen to the recordings. When you do, you receive 2 free gifts. One is a one-sheet downloadable 10 principles of our human existence, 10 spiritual principles of our human existence, to remind us that we are spiritual beings in a human body, having an integrated experience on this planet Earth, what this life cycle is about, what our journey is about, why we're here. And it helps us to just remember and keep things in perspective. You also get a 15-minute downloadable guided meditation that I hope you'll make a part of your daily practice to help you to connect with that pure divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion that is the truth of who you are at the core of your being. Right. With that, I thank you very much for being here. See you next week. And for those of you who are here live in person, opening for Q&A. Thank you.